I'm John King here with ESFI World, and we're here with HeavensLighT. Heavens, you and Golden got the furthest this tournament. Do you think you and him are Light's best players right now?
I think the player roster is Golden, then Kwai, then me, then Binsky, Caliber, and everyone else on the team.
Hmm. You lost to your teammate Golden in the losers bracket. How is playing him in a tournament different than playing in practice?
Playing him in a tournament is different from practice because practice we generally do the same build orders over and over, so we have less of a coin flip. But in tournament we don't know what to expect because we've played so much and we know each other like in and out. So we basically countered how the other player plays, but since we changed our build order so much, the games look like nothing like in practice.
Have you done anything in particular to prepare for your games against your teammates in this tournament?
I didn't prepare against my teammates, but I just I laddered, played some customs, played tournaments. I just got some experience. So
What would you say has most helped you prepare for a tournament like MLG?
the most thing is actually not playing StarCraft 2. Interestingly enough, getting a good night's sleep, eating well, stuff like that is way more important than practicing. It's kind of like studying for a test, to be honest. You don't want to cram in the week or the night before.
Do you think a lot of other players could benefit from focusing more on not playing StarCraft?
A lot of the players here that are not on the big foreigner teams or from Korea, they actually need to play a lot more. Like the time they put in is not nearly enough to get them any results or even justify them coming to an MLG.
Well, let's talk about your run through MLG. How do you feel about your luck in the bracket?
My bracket was Destiny, then Alive, then Artist, but Artist actually didn't show up. So I felt decent, and I was only worried about TSL, Fnatic Alive.
How do you think your matches went against Alive?
He played really, really well. I've never played against someone who can multitask and had solid mechanics as him. But the games went well. They were close. It was a 1-2 series. I could have taken game 1 or 3, but he outplayed me in the end.
You've come across State twice in twice in MLGs. Is there any rivalry brewing there?
Me and State have actually played multiple times outside of MLG. So since ZVP is we're discovering new things every time we play. So it's actually a real pleasure to play him in tournaments. I learned a lot.
Could you speak a little bit about balance? How do you think the game is playing out right now?
ZVZ is unfortunately very coin flippy on certain maps, and on bigger maps such as Tal'Darim and Belshire, it's very hard to hold like a Lingbane, like 13-13, so it's kind of forced to do that on that map. Like for example, I played Destiny and we both went 13-13. So the balance on some maps are bad for that matchup. ZVT, I love it. It's a balanced matchup in every way except late game. They Ghost nerf is way too strong. I feel really bad for Terrans. They have to play like completely different. And ZVP, I feel Sentry Immortal timings are strong, but otherwise the matchup is actually fairly balanced.
Is there anything that we have Heart of the Swarm coming up? I should start. Do you feel that there's anything that Blizzard can do to really improve the game of StarCraft?
I don't think they need to focus on the game at this point. They need to focus on making it more marketable, and they need to make it more not spectator friendly, but like casual friendly. The game itself is not very casual friendly at this moment.
When you're playing StarCraft, are there any players that you look up to that you try to learn from more than others?
ZVP Beyond is Stefano. ZVT, I learned actually more from my teammates, the Terrence, Kawhi Rice, and Binsky. They teach me a lot about ZVT. And ZVZ, I experiment myself. I feel ZVZ is mostly mechanics, and you can't really copy anybody's playstyle. So,
speaking about your teammates, you're on Team Light, which is a bit of a more recent addition to the StarCraft world. How have you been getting along with your place in Light, and how has your interaction been with your teammates so far?
The team is great. We actually all came from an old team we just put together. Like, it wasn't sponsored. We paid for our own trips to MLGs. It was called the Kiwi Clones. So we're all tight. Like, we're all close friends. So it's really nice to have that kind of atmosphere going into a sponsored pro team.
And this is not your first MLG. You've been to a few others before. How do you think that this MLG stacks up to the other ones you've been to? And could you speak a little bit about the changes that they've made this year?
My MLG experience has been it's been more or less the same. They've made a lot of changes as to like monitors, like the new monitors they got. I've seen the same people, the referees, everybody. Like, I like catching up with them, and the only thing that's changed isn't MLG itself, but the players. They've gotten a lot better. So that's all I have to say on that.
Is there anything that's particularly been frustrating about playing in MLG, or what do you like best, or what do you like worst?
MLG itself hasn't really affected my like day-to-day life because everything's been taken care of by my sponsors TTE Sports and my manager Duran Parsi. So they've provided everything for me. MLG hasn't really done anything, so to speak, but like they're very professional. Their crew is very friendly. The referees are very fair. So I like what they're doing.
And what would you say that your goals are in 2012?
My goals are right now I'm still in university full time, and I'm trying to balance StarCraft 2. So my goal is to make at least a decent wage from StarCraft 2 to justify myself taking a semester or so off from university and playing the game full time.
And there's recently been some talk about the Brood War players coming over to play StarCraft 2. How do you think that their coming over would change the lay of the land, so to speak, in the StarCraft world?
It's hard to say, but the Brood War people would destroy everybody. I used to play Brood War, and the people now are so beyond mechanically advanced than anyone who plays StarCraft 2 right now for a living.
Is there any player in particular that you're looking forward to seeing play StarCraft 2?
I don't think he would ever play StarCraft 2, but Flash switched over. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Definitely a big thanks to my sponsors, TT Sports Thermaltic. I love this bag. And my manager, Duran Parsi, he's right over there, just sitting. And obviously all my teammates helped me practice, and that's about it.